You ever open your bank app and feel your stomach drop? I remember staring at my screen that morning, coffee in one hand, phone in the other. I refreshed the page once, twice, thinking it was a glitch, but it wasn't. $75,000 gone in a single day. Not slowly, not over months, just gone. And the strange part? The loss didn't start that morning. It started weeks earlier, when everything felt like it was working perfectly. Because when money starts growing fast, your brain does something dangerous. It starts telling you a story. The story goes something like this. Maybe I'm actually good at this. You see a few wins. Maybe a stock doubles. Maybe a crypto trade works out. Maybe an investment you barely researched suddenly takes off. And instead of thinking, that was lucky, you start thinking, I figured something out. That's the trap. The problem isn't losing money. Everyone who invests long enough will eventually lose some. The real problem is what success does to our psychology. When something works once, our brain wants to repeat it, but bigger. You start checking your portfolio more often. You start increasing your position sizes. The numbers feel more real, more exciting. And slowly, without noticing it, you stop behaving like an investor and start behaving like a gambler who thinks they're on a hot streak. That's exactly what happened to me. The first few trades worked. Not because I had some genius strategy, but because the market happened to be moving in my direction. But success is sneaky. Instead of slowing down, I sped up. Instead of asking, what could go wrong? I started asking, how much more could this make? And that shift is subtle, but it changes everything. Because the bigger the bet, the smaller the margin for error.
When you're investing responsibly, a bad day might sting, but it doesn't destroy you. But when you start concentrating too much money in one idea, one trade, one belief, one bad day can erase months or years of progress. That's the morning I opened the app and saw the number. A drop so fast it almost felt unreal. And in that moment, you go through a strange emotional cycle. First comes denial. You think the market will bounce back in a few hours. Then comes bargaining. Maybe tomorrow it'll recover. Then eventually comes acceptance. Not just acceptance of the loss, but acceptance of the mistake. Because the painful truth is this. I didn't lose $75,000 in one day. I lost it through a series of small decisions that slowly increased my risk without me fully noticing. That's the part most people don't talk about. Big financial losses rarely come from one dramatic mistake. They come from a quiet buildup of overconfidence. A little more risk here, a slightly bigger bet there, until eventually the system snaps. But oddly enough, losing that money taught me something valuable about how investing actually works. The goal isn't to be right all the time. It's to survive long enough for the math to work in your favor. That means protecting your downside, diversifying more than your ego wants to, and accepting that slow, boring progress is usually the path that lasts. After that loss, I didn't quit investing, but I changed the rules I played by. Smaller positions, more patience, fewer emotional decisions. Because real wealth doesn't come from one lucky trade. It usually comes from hundreds of quiet, disciplined decisions that don't feel exciting in the moment. And if you've ever lost money or made a financial decision you regret, you're not alone. Almost everyone who learns about money eventually pays some kind of tuition to the market. Sometimes it's a few $100s. Sometimes it's more. What matters isn't avoiding every mistake. That's impossible. What matters is learning from the ones you've already made and adjusting the way you play the game. Because in the long run, building wealth isn't about being perfect. It's about staying in the game long enough to get better.